Hi everyone. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the pantoprazole, how it acts, what is the mechanism, side effects and clinical use of this drug. What is pantoprazole? Pantoprazole is one of the drugs belonging to the group of drugs PPIs. PPI indicates the proton pump inhibitors. These drugs are going to decrease the gastric acid secretion, they are going to decrease the HCl secretion, and particularly these drugs can be used in the various clinical conditions. In all these situations, their main role is to decrease the gastric acid secretion. For example, these drugs can be given along with the NSAIDs. Whenever the NSAIDs are going to be used for long term, they can increase the gastric acid secretion. So NSAIDs can increase the gastric ulcers and gastric bleeding. Here the PPIs like the pantoprazole can be given prophylactically in order to decrease the gastric acid secretion. Similarly, the pantoprazole can be used in the treatment of gastric ulcers. Gastric ulcers may result in an excessive release of the gastric acid secretion, which can be controlled by the proton pump inhibitors. Similarly, another important usage is the GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disorder. This is a situation where the gastric acid is going to be refluxed back into the esophagus, which may result in the esophageal irritation as well as we have the symptoms which are commonly known as heartburn. In such conditions, we can give the proton pump inhibitors like the pantoprazole. And another one is the H. pylori infection. H. pylori is the Helicobacter pylori, which one of the gram-negative infection which may increase the gastric acid secretion from the gastric parietal cells. For such situation, we can use a combination of drugs which can be called as triple or quadruple therapy, and among this regimen, proton pump inhibitors are the one of the important category of drugs. So here again the pantoprazole can be used. Similarly, some of the tumors like the Zollinger-Ellison syndrome. This one of a gastrin producing tumor which can increase the gastrin secretion, then gastrin can increase the gastric acid secretion. In this way, in all these situations, pantoprazole can be used to reduce the gastric acid secretion. But what is this drug? If we see the name of the pantoprazole, we can observe the suffix azole. So whether this drug is going to belonging to the azole antifungals, otherwise this drug is having the same nucleus like the azole antifungals. Azole antifungals are having the two types of nuclei like imidazole or triazole. Now the pantoprazole is having which type of heterocyclic ring system? Actually here we should not confuse the suffix of the pantoprazole with the azole antifungals. Pantoprazole is having a suffix like the prazole. Within this category we can observe the other drugs like the omeprazole, rabeprazole, esomeprazole, lansoprazole. All these are having a common suffix prazole. So prazole indicates they are the proton pump inhibitors. Now let us see the structure of the pantoprazole. So this is the structure of the pantoprazole. You can observe two types of heterocyclic ring systems present in the pantoprazole. The first one is having the benzimidazole nucleus. So that's why we can see the suffix azole. So this azole indicates is a benzimidazole. Similarly, another heterocyclic ring system is nothing but the pyridine ring system. In this way, the pantoprazole is having the two types of heterocyclic ring systems, benzimidazole and pyridine. From this we can derive the prazole. Here we can easily remember the structural feature of the pantoprazole from its suffix. Here PR indicates having the pyridine nucleus. From the pyridine we can take the PR. And azole indicates having the benzimidazole nucleus. In this way, proton pump inhibitors are having the two types of heterocyclic ring systems, benzimidazole and pyridine, but these two are not directly connected. They are going to be connected with a alkyl sulfoxide bridge. But here the pantoprazole is not an active drug and it requires a bioactivation. Once it is going to be administered into the body within the gastric parietal cells, it is going to be converted to an active metabolite, which is actually responsible for the inhibition of proton pump. Now let us represent the pantoprazole structure like this. Here this pantoprazole is having the sulfur attached with the oxygen by a double bond, so it is a sulfoxide. And this structure is having the two nitrogens here, one nitrogen and another nitrogen, which can be easily attacked by the protons in the acidic environment. So within the acidic environment, the pantoprazole can undergo the protonation at these two nitrogens and protons can be added. This protonated pantoprazole can undergo a rearrangement reaction where few of the bonds are going to be broken and few of the bonds are going to be formed so that it is going to produce an active metabolite. In this way, pantoprazole is not an active drug and it acts as a prodrug. Now the pantoprazole, which is available as sulfoxide, you can observe the sulfur is attached with the oxygen by double bond. In the acidic environment within the gastric parietal cells, it can be converted into active metabolite. Now in this structure, you can observe the sulfur without any oxygen. So this is the sulfene. This sulfene is forming an amide linkage. So this is the sulfenamide. So pantoprazole can produce a sulfenamide metabolite. This is the active metabolite which is responsible for the inhibition of the proton pump. Now this active metabolite, which is the sulfenamide, can interact with the proton pump. Proton pump is nothing but the H plus K plus ATPase pump, which is responsible for the exchange of the proton for the potassium and which utilizes the energy in the form of ATP. Now the sulfenamide metabolite of the pantoprazole can undergo cleavage at this point, and after this cleavage it can interact with the thiol groups of the proton pump. In this way, the active metabolite of the pantoprazole can interact with the proton pump and it can form a linkage with the proton pump. Thereby, it can inhibit the activity of the proton pump. Now, let us see in detail how pantoprazole acts. Within the gastric parietal cells, the water and carbon dioxide are going to be combined to produce the carbonic acid by one of the enzyme, carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Then this carbonic acid can be split into two components. One is the bicarbonate and another one is the proton. And this bicarbonate can be exchanged outside by another pump present on this gastric parietal cells. So here this pump can exchange the bicarbonate to the outside for the exchange of the chloride ions. These chloride ions can then secrete into the lumen. But the protons cannot be directly secreted into the lumen, so they require few of the pumps, that is the proton pumps. Now the proton is going to be secreted from the gastric parietal cells for the exchange of the potassium by these proton pumps, which are nothing but the H plus K plus ATPase pumps. In this way, the gastric acid HCl is going to be secreted into the lumen. Now let us see how this pantoprazole acts. Pantoprazole can enter into the gastric parietal cells where it can be converted into its active metabolite within the acidic environment. Now this sulfenamide metabolite of the pantoprazole can interact with the proton pump and can bind to this proton pump at the thiol groups. Thereby it can inhibit the activity of the proton pump. In this way, the active metabolites of the pantoprazole can inhibit the proton pumps. Thereby these pumps cannot secrete the proton outside and HCl secretion can be inhibited. In this way, whatever may be the stimuli, the pantoprazole can block the final step in the HCl secretion, that is the activity of the proton pump. And when this pump is going to be blocked, the HCl is not secreted, so that whatever may be the stimuli, they cannot secrete the gastric acid. Now let us see the side effects of pantoprazole. Pantoprazole can produce few of the general side effects like the nausea, vomiting, headache, and it can also produce a diarrhea because of the gastrointestinal disturbances, and this diarrhea may be increased in the patients having the Clostridium difficile infection. And one of the important concerns of this pantoprazole, just observed with the other proton pump inhibitors, is that these drugs can produce the vitamin B12 deficiency. This may result in the numbness as well as weakness in the patients, and this side effect is observed when the pantoprazole is used for more than 3 years. So on long-term use, it can produce the vitamin B12 deficiency. Similarly, the pantoprazole can also produce few of the allergic skin reactions. And apart from this, there is a concern of the bone fractures when these drugs are used for a long-term period. How it is given? Pantoprazole can be given as a IR tablet, that is immediate release tablet, and it can also be given as a CR tablet, the control release tablet, which release the drug in a controlled way for a longer period, as well as it's also available as a IV solution. The CR tablet is available at dose of 20 mg as well as 40 mg, and IV solution is available at 40 mg per 10 ml strength. The dose of the pantoprazole depends on the clinical situation, and at most of the times it is going to be started 40 mg once daily, but according to the situation, the dose can also be increased 40 mg twice daily. Drug interactions. Proton pump inhibitors are going to inhibit the cytochrome P450 enzymes, and one of the important cytochrome P450 on which these drugs are going to act is the CYP2C19. So whenever these drugs are given along with other drugs, they can decrease the metabolism of the other drugs. For example, proton pump inhibitors can inhibit the metabolism of the clopidogrel, one of the antiplatelet agent which is metabolized by CYP2C19. So here the pantoprazole can also inhibit the CYP2C19, thereby it can inhibit the metabolism of the clopidogrel. But among the PPIs, the pantoprazole has less inhibitory activity on the cytochrome P450 enzymes, thereby it shows less drug interactions. Clinical uses. One of the important clinical uses is GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disorder, which is a condition of reflux of the gastric acid secretion into the esophagus, resulting in the esophageal irritation and heartburn. In such condition, we can use the pantoprazole. Similarly, second one is a dyspepsia. Whenever the gastric acid is excessively secreted, it can cause the dyspepsia. In such conditions, pantoprazole can be used. And in the triple or quadruple therapy of the H. pylori infection, the pantoprazole is one of the component. And in the treatment of Zollinger-Ellison syndrome, it can be used. Similarly, pantoprazole can also be used as a prophylactic after the anesthesia, because in the anesthetic patients, after the aspiration, there may be an increase in the gastric acid secretion. In such situations, the proton pump inhibitors can be used. So that's about the pantoprazole. Pantoprazole is one of a proton pump inhibitor that acts by inhibition of the H+K+ ATPase pump. But this drug is not an active drug. It requires the bioactivation within the gastric parietal cells. Within the acidic environment of the gastric parietal cells, it is going to be converted to a sulfenamide metabolite, which is going to block the enzymatic activity of the proton pump. So that's for today. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Share this video with your friends. Post your comments in the comment box. Thank you for watching this video.